Alright YouTube, getting ready to do a little bit of body work. Purchased Bondo glass, Bondo body filler, self-etching primer, fiberglass cloth, additional tube of hardener, some putty knives. I had on hand blue masking tape, 1 inch, 2 inch, my hand sander, a little bit of 220, I got 120, got 80, then additional 220, a little bit of personal protection, got vinyl gloves, got some goggles, dust mask, respirator, some tack cloth I pulled out, a little bit of cleaner, 2 different grinders, flap disc, and wire wheel. I'm going to be working on my truck bed trailer. Got a fairly large rust hole here. I've got 2 additional rust spots in the rear on the tailgate. And then on the passenger side, nothing bad, just a few little spots right there. I do plan to sand off, grind off, peel off these little adhesive, probably chip guards, corner protectors, whatever, on both wheel wells, and then as well as the front of the truck bed where the cab would meet. It has them here. They're not gonna look good painted, so let's get those off. Let's get some bare metal, and we'll start putting some fiberglass filler on. All right. Just completed doing the flap wheel. Got the brunt of it off pretty good. Got that hole opened up. There's still a little bit of crud in there that I'm gonna dig out. As I should have mentioned, I'm gonna use a wire wheel to clean up where I use the flap disc, and also on this pinstripe. I'm gonna take that off. I got the tailgate here. I'm guessing that's probably rust because it doesn't grind clean. So we'll see how this turns out after I get a wire wheel on it. So here's the results after cleaning this up with a wire wheel. Got pretty good. Probably could have done this a little bit better, maybe with a razor blade, but it is all off. It did leave a lot of like residue, so hopefully I can clean that up. Open this rust hole up quite a bit. Got some more of the rust off the front side. I'm not going to be able to do much on the back side. I'm not going to see it. Don't care about it. The tailgate side was surprising. Took out quite a bit of additional rust. You guys can see that on the ground. Opened this up quite a bit. There is, you know, some rust in the back from this piece, but what I'm going to be bondoing, I believe, should hold up. Now this, you guys can see that it's still in there. It's in there really good, but it's rust. So I might try to knock that out with a hammer before I put on a patch and try to get it fixed up. And then this side opened up quite a bit. Pretty bad spots there. You can see there where the wire wheel went in deeper, quite a bit deeper than the flap disc. And of course, you have the sticker, or I should say the pinstripe, removed, and then both sides of this cleaned up. So I'm gonna use my hand sander to try to clean up some of this residual adhesive. All right, got the 80 grit sanding done. It took almost all the residual adhesive off, and it took out a lot of these little, I shouldn't say little, fairly large scratches, as you can see there from the wire wheel. But that should be filled up by the time I get it primered, sanded and painted a couple times. These areas cleaned up pretty good. And on the sides, I'm gonna start wiping everything down. Give me a little bit of an idea of areas that I need to re-sand or remove additional paint for the Bondo to adhere properly. So let's get this wiped down, do a final walkthrough, additional sanding, start mixing some Bondo. Alright guys, got the fiberglass in. It was interesting and unique in its own way. Something, looking back, I would have probably done a practice section or piece prior to just saying, oh, let's just smear it on over the cloth. I had a hard time wrapping the bottom, so it's very uneven, and then there was a lot of strands. Every time that I would tuck it up underneath, I would get more little strands that would come free. So what I'm going to do is let this dry for about 30-45 minutes, sand it thoroughly, and then I'm probably going to come back and just do the fiberglass resin. Just a quick view after my second coat sanded. This is pretty much done and ready for Bondo, I believe. It's very smooth, has a little bit of a ridge, like right there that comes up, but to the point where you really can't even see it. Really happy with how that turned out. The tailgate is harder. Obvious problem is I have this tow hook that sticks down, but I keep sanding through the fiberglass to smooth it out. This side just needs one more smooth coat, but yeah, this side, this is actually, if you can see it move, it's apparently a little too thin. Alright guys, got all the fiberglass work, Bondo work, sanding done. I've already got a coat of sandable primer on, which is this. So I'm getting ready to hit the entire body with 220. Alright guys, pulled the trailer out. It's a nice day. Got my last bit of priming done. A little bit darker shade than the sandable primer. Getting ready to wet sand this. Alright, first coat of the silver. I had been putting off cutting the rear quarters, but considering I had to start painting it, I went ahead and cut both those. They look alright, and then I left just enough room to reattach the rear quarter support that also holds the fender liner in. Alright guys, a little update. A little bit's changed. I've worked on this a little bit each night. The main paint is done, the silver on the outside. I've been working on the interior of the truck bed. Started with a flap disc, went to a wire wheel, then do my hand sander to get in as many of the spots as I could. Now I'm getting ready to spray Rust-Oleum brand truck bed liner in. I'm gonna spray it on the bumper here. I've also decided to spray it on the front here. Alright, final product of the truck bed coating. Got it on fairly well. I think it turned out good. It sprayed thicker than I thought, and had some trouble with some runs, which I in turn went back with a brush and just kind of patted down. Went ahead and put the taillights back on, pulled the mask off. I got a pretty clean line, except for right there. Otherwise, pretty clean line. Front turned out good. I couldn't paint the rear bumper because of the way I had the tailgate down. So I'm going to pull that off. When I pull that off, I'm also going to paint the high lift jack foot so that I don't have a giant black spot in my yard. And yeah guys, this is getting close to being done.